Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm hoping that it's not that long, but a lot of you guys have been concerned about when I posted the other day saying I'm going to take a break from social media, and I don't know how long. It didn't really last that long because I work from social media. If you guys know, that's my job. Social media is my job. So if I'm not on social media, I'm not getting paid. So it took just a few days, and those few days, the day I announced that I needed a break was the day that I actually came forward to my husband certain things that I was facing. And for a while now, I've been battling by myself, but now I'm not by myself in a sense, because I do have now my husband's awareness, like he knows what's going on with me. But let me not get ahead of myself. Let me explain what's going on. So a lot of you guys know that I exclusively breastfeed Ariella. She is my second baby. She is 4 months old. I have been breastfeeding for 4 months so far. You guys know because I shared it on my Instagram page. When I breastfeed, I feel, for whatever reason, I was feeling sad. And this happened immediately when the minute she came out, for whatever reason, and she started, like, milk actually started to flow, I began feeling sad. So when I came home from the hospital with her was when everything was happening. And I remember going on Instagram and going on my stories, and everyone was asking me, oh, how are you feeling, how's postpartum treating you? And I would tell everyone, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not okay, I feel sad. And at first I thought it was normal. I remember my mom was staying with me. Even my mother-in-law would call, I would always tell them, like, I feel so sad and I don't know why I feel sad. And it had nothing to do with my baby, because I love my baby. Like, I love my kids, you know what I mean? So I wasn't considering it as postpartum, because I heard, in postpartum you feel some type of way towards your kids. So it took a while for me to talk to my doctor about me feeling sad, because a part of postpartum, I had a very traumatic labor and delivery. If you guys saw that video, you guys know that Ariella was born not breathing. They had to resuscitate her for 2 minutes. I died while giving birth. They had to give me an emergency C-section, and I bled out on the table. They put me to sleep and I bled out on the table. So it was a lot. It was kind of traumatic. It was a very traumatic experience. So, I thought, maybe that was one of the reasons why I was so sad, because, it wasn't, my labor and delivery wasn't how I wanted it to be or whatever. But nonetheless, once I built up the courage to speak to my OB, she told me this is probably why, it was traumatic. You should be proud of yourself. You should feel proud of your body, because your body hasn't failed you, blah, blah, blah. So after speaking with her, I did feel better. But for whatever reason, as I continued to breastfeed, I just continued to feel sad. And I just didn't understand why. So I told my husband, like, I don't know what is wrong. I don't know why I always feel this emptiness, this loneliness, this like I just couldn't explain what it was. It just wasn't a good feeling. Like, normally when I breastfed Kaylee, who was my firstborn, it was an amazing experience. I loved that bonding. I loved breastfeeding her. I loved everything about it. So I couldn't understand what the heck was going on with me. So when I explained it to my husband, he's like, you need to talk to your doctor. So I did. And she gave me a list of therapists and psychiatrists that I should see. Now, being Hispanic, you guys know that that's like super frowned upon, especially, if you have parents who are religious, they say, you don't need to see a therapist, you need to see a psychiatrist, you don't need to be on medication, you don't need to speak to anybody, you just need to pray and God is gonna heal you, God this, God that. And while I am also a believer, I know who God is, I have a relationship with God. I just, it's not like I'm not reading my word, it's not like I'm not praying. These things are still happening, these things are still very real in my life. I'm still experiencing all of this sadness, all of this emptiness, all of this void, all of this whatever while I'm breastfeeding. But because it was only happening while I was breastfeeding, I wasn't really paying much attention to it. So I just left it alone. Then we moved. We had a big transition. We moved from an apartment to a house in New Jersey. My family left to Florida. So I'm literally by myself now. And I don't know. I feel like so many transitions, especially having just given birth, was like hit like a mad truck. So with all of that, I don't know, I feel like maybe that contributed to a lot of the way I was feeling. But anyway, so like I said, I was ignoring the fact of how I was feeling because it was only while I was breastfeeding. Until I couldn't cope with it anymore. The way I was coping with it before was, I would just be quiet. I wouldn't even be able to eat anything because if I ate something, it just wouldn't taste the same while I'm it's insane. Like if I'm eating something and I'm breastfeeding, it can be the most amazing meal ever, and the minute that I'm breastfeeding, it's disgusting. I don't want to eat it. It doesn't taste the same to me. It doesn't fill me. Like I just don't want it. So I literally have to stop eating. I have to stop speaking. I'm just to myself. That's how I was coping. So as the days went on, I noticed that it started getting worse. I began having suicidal thoughts. And it got to the point where I knew how I was going to kill myself. And I knew where in the house I was going to kill myself. And I was battling this so long, for a while, that one day my husband, like we're all downstairs in the basement, and out of nowhere, like we're all okay, we're all fine, and then I just change out of nowhere, and my husband's like, are you okay? And I got up from the couch, and that's when I was like, no. At that precise moment, I was thinking, like, I'm so, like, my family is better off without me. My daughters are better off without me. They deserve someone better. And this is why I didn't want to make this video. Now, I'm not making this video because I want attention from anyone. That's the complete opposite, because if it were to me, nobody would know. Like, what if a person that I consider my sister, she asked me what was wrong, and I just ignored her because I just didn't want to tell her. I didn't want to tell anybody because I don't want pity from anybody. I don't want anyone to think that I'm just being dramatic or I'm being a negative Nancy. And I don't even know how to explain this to people. I don't know how to be around people feeling this way. There's only 3 people that know. And when one of them, when she was like, let me be there for you, I had to tell her no, because I feel more alone when I'm around people. So I need you to just give me my space. And thankfully she reaches out from time to time, but you know, she respected that, and I thank her for that. But it got to that point where, you know, I knew how I was gonna do it. I knew, I was contemplating it. I knew everything. And when my husband asked me, you know, if I'm okay, that's when I said no. And when the girls took a nap, we sat down and I explained everything to him, and it was like a burden lifted off of my shoulders. And that's when I began to get help. So I am in therapy. I have an amazing therapist. Her name is Janet. I love her. I am going to start on medication. I'm hoping that it does help. But I'm sharing this video because I want mothers or anyone who's experiencing what I'm experiencing to know that they're not by themselves. Sorry, to get Ariella, but I'm making this video because one, I want to inform everyone of what's been happening, and two, if there's anyone, whether you're a mom going through postpartum, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're a human being in general and you are having issues with your mental health, the moment that you come to terms with the fact that you're not okay, I'm not gonna say is the moment that everything gets better, but it is the moment that you become free to, I don't even know how to explain it. The moment you accept what you are going through, the moment that you accept that you have a problem, the moment that you accept that the thoughts that you have are not okay and are not normal, is step one to overcoming. So you're not alone. You're not by yourself. You know, I saw a picture, and this is what like probably warmed my heart the most, is while we're up at 3 o'clock in the morning by ourselves with our kids and we feel like we're alone, there's a whole tribe of moms up at 3 o'clock in the morning with their kids. So you're not by yourself. So don't feel like you're alone, because you're not. And I'm preaching to myself here. It's not easy, and it hasn't been. But I don't want to be fake for anybody. I don't want to put on a facade and make it seem like I'm okay. Make it seem like I'm all good on social media, but then behind closed doors, I'm battling the biggest demons ever. I didn't want that. So if you see that I'm silent on social media, just say a quick prayer for me. And if you see that I'm active on social media, just congratulate me, because that day I overcame. And I'm overcoming little by little every day. And I know that it's gonna get better. And I know that I'm not less of a Christian or less of a child of God for what I'm going through. If anything, it just means that God wants to be more present in my life now than ever before. So, yeah. Thank you guys for hearing me out. I hope that if there's anyone that's battling this, comes across this video, and know that you're not by yourself. So I do love you guys. I consider you guys my family. And if you're battling with me, we'll get through this. I don't know how, and I don't know when, but we'll get through it, and it'll get better. Love you guys.